Hello everyone, welcome back to Lit Lounge. It's me, Rigna. In our last video, we covered nouns and pronouns, the words we use to name people, places, things, and ideas. If you haven't watched it yet, go check it out first. I've pinned the link in the description. But here's a question. Can a sentence work with just nouns and pronouns? What if I say, Rahul, football? Sounds incomplete, right? What's missing? We need words that tell us what Rahul is doing, words that describe Rahul, and words that tell us how Rahul is doing it. And that's exactly what we are learning today. Verbs, adjectives, and adverbs. By the end of this video, you'll be able to spot them easily in everyday English. Let's jump in. Before we move forward, let's quickly remember what we learned in the previous video. A noun is a naming word. Examples: teacher, city, dog, book. And a pronoun replaces a noun. Examples: he, she, it, they, we. Today, we are adding 3 more members to our parts of speech family: verb, adjective, and adverb. Let's meet them one by one. Now, let's move on to verbs. A verb tells us what a person, animal, or thing does or what it is. Simply put, a verb is an action word or a state of being word. Let's look at a few examples. Rahul runs, the baby sleeps, birds fly. In each of these sentences, the highlighted word tells us what the subject is doing. Runs, sleeps, fly. These words are all verbs. Now here's something interesting. A sentence usually needs a verb to express a complete idea. For example, the dog in the garden. Does that sound complete? Not really. It leaves us wondering, what about the dog? Now look at this. The dog is sleeping in the garden. Now the sentence is complete because the verb is sleeping tells us what the dog is doing. That's why verbs are often called the heart of a sentence. They bring a sentence to life by showing an action, a condition, or a state of being. Without a verb, most sentences are incomplete and don't fully express a meaning. Let's look at some common verbs. Run, walk, eat, drink, read, write, sleep, play, sing. These are all action verbs because they tell us what someone or something is doing. But here's something important to remember. Not all verbs show actions. Look at the sentence. Sarah is happy. Here the word is also a verb. Is Sarah doing any action? No. Instead, the verb is tells us about Sarah's state or condition. So, verbs can do 2 things. Show an action like run, eat, or play, or show a state of being like is, am, are, was, and were. That's why we say a verb tells us either what someone or something does or what someone or something is. A quick way to spot a verb is to ask, what is happening? Or what is the person, animal, or thing doing? The word that tells you that is the verb. Now, let's learn about adjectives. Imagine I say, I bought a car. That's fine. But do you know what kind of car? Was it a big car, a small car, a red car, or a new car? We need more information, don't we? That's exactly what adjectives do. An adjective is a word that describes a noun or a pronoun. It tells us more about a person, place, animal, or thing. Let's look at a few examples. A beautiful flower, a tall building, a red ball, a smart student. In these examples, the words beautiful, tall, red, and smart tell us more about the nouns. So these words are called adjectives. In simple words, an adjective adds more detail and makes our sentences more interesting and meaningful. Now let's see adjectives in complete sentences. The tall boy plays football. She bought a red dress. We visited a beautiful park. Did you notice something? The words tall, red, and beautiful give us more information about the nouns. They help us imagine the people and things more clearly. Without adjectives, our sentences can sound plain and less interesting. Let's compare these two sentences. I saw a dog. Now listen to this. I saw a huge black dog. Which sentence helps you imagine the dog better? Of course, the second one. That's the magic of adjectives. They add color, detail, and interest to our sentences. Here's a simple trick to identify an adjective. Ask questions like what kind, which one, how many, how much. If a word answers one of these questions about a noun or a pronoun, it's usually an adjective. Now let's learn about adverbs. Don't worry if they sound a little confusing at first. They're actually quite easy to understand. An adverb is a word that gives us more information about a verb, an adjective, or another adverb. Most of the time, an adverb tells us how an action happens. Let's look at an example. Rahul runs. That's a complete sentence. But how does Rahul run? Rahul runs quickly. The word quickly tells us more about the verb runs. So, quickly is an adverb. Here are a few more examples. She speaks clearly. The baby slept peacefully. They worked hard. In these sentences, the words clearly, peacefully, and hard gives us more information about the action. So, they are all adverbs. Now, here's something you'll notice. Many adverbs end with ly. For example, quickly, slowly, carefully, beautifully, happily. But remember, not all adverbs end in ly. Look at this sentence. He works hard. The word hard is an adverb, even though it doesn't end in ly. Adverbs don't just tell us how something happens. They can also tell us when something happens, where it happens, or how often it happens. For example, I arrived yesterday. When did I arrive? I arrived yesterday. We looked everywhere. Where did you look? We looked everywhere. She always smiles. How often does she smile? She always smiles. Here's a simple trick to identify an adverb. Ask questions like how, when, where, how often. If a word answers one of these questions by giving more information about an action, it's usually an adverb. Now let's look at the difference between adjective and adverb. This is where many learners get confused. But don't worry, it's actually very easy. Let's look at two sentences. She is a careful driver. Here the word careful describes the noun driver. So careful is an adjective. Now look at this sentence. She drives carefully. This time the word carefully tells us how she drives. It describes the verb drives. So carefully is an adverb. So remember the simple rule. An adjective describes a noun or a pronoun. An adverb describes a verb, an adjective, or another adverb. That's the easiest way to tell the difference between the two. Now let's identify the parts of speech together. First sentence, the happy child laughed loudly. Can you spot the adjective? Yes, the word happy describes the noun child. So happy is an adjective. Now, which word shows the action? Laughed tells us what the child did. So laughed is the verb. What about loudly? Yes, it tells us how the child laughed. So loudly is an adverb. Look at the second sentence. The tall teacher speaks clearly. First, identify the noun. Yes, teacher is the noun. Now, which word describes the teacher? Tall gives us more information about the noun. So, tall is an adjective. Next, what is the teacher doing? Speaks show the action. So, speaks is the verb. Finally, how does the teacher speak? Clearly tells us more about the verb. So, clearly is an adverb. See, it's not as difficult as it seems. With a little practice, you'll be able to identify nouns, verbs, adjectives, and adverbs in almost any sentence. Now, let's revise what we've learned today. Verb. A verb tells us what a person, animal, or thing does, or what it is. And here are some examples: run, eat, write, sleep, is, and are. An adjective describes a noun or a pronoun. It gives us more information about a person, place, animal, or thing. Some examples are tall, beautiful, red, and smart. An adverb gives us more information about a verb, an adjective, or another adverb. It tells us things like how, when, where, or how often something happens. And some examples are quickly, slowly, carefully, and loudly. Here's an easy way to remember them. Verb shows the action or state, adjective describes, and adverb gives extra information. Keep these 3 simple rules in mind, and you'll find it much easier to identify these parts of speech in any sentence. And that's it for today's lesson. Let's take a quick look at what we've learned so far in our Parts of Speech series. We have covered nouns, pronouns, verbs, adjectives, and adverbs. That's a big step forward, and you're doing an amazing job. But our journey isn't over yet. In the next video, we'll explore 3 more important parts of speech: prepositions, conjunctions, and interjections. You'll learn how words show relationships, connect ideas, and express feelings and emotions. So, if you don't want to miss the next lesson, subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell. Each video builds on what we have already learned, making English grammar easier, one step at a time. Thank you so much for watching. Keep practicing, keep learning, and remember, the more you use English, the easier it becomes. I'll see you in the next lesson. Happy learning!